today I'm going to be filming a video all about my experience at Bath Spa University. If you haven't seen me before, I studied at Bath Spa for about 4 years because I dropped out, changed courses, but I will go into that in the video. So yeah, I thought you might find this helpful if you're going off to Bath Spa or if you're there already or you're just nosy. But yeah, I hope you like this video. Please like, subscribe, and let's get started. Say, obviously my experience at Bath Spa can be completely different to yours, so don't take everything as what I say as what's going to happen to you. And I haven't got any of my grades back from my dissertation or my third year, so yes, if you're a staff member watching this, please let me have my degree still. I'm not saying anything really bad in this video, but yeah, enjoy the video. So I'm going to obviously go through each year at university I've done, and then I'm basically going to talk about 3 different categories. I'm going to talk about housing, social life, and my mental health. I think those are 3 quite important things when you go to uni. I'm going to do a complete separate video about my course, because I know some people might not do the same course as me or might just not be interested and would rather just focus on living in Bath stuff. So yeah, I'll be doing a separate video all about my experience with my course. This is just literally my social life and just my general life in Bath. So yeah, first year, so I started university in 2017. So I moved into Sydney Halls in Lakeside on campus. So yeah, I was in a flat of 12 people. I have done a video about this as well, literally years ago. So yeah, I was in a flat of 12. I think one girl did drop out about January time, so it was then it went down to 11 of us. So to start with, there was 8 girls and 4 boys. And yeah, then it went down to 7 girls, 4 boys. So yeah, so there was a lot more girls than boys, but no issues there. We all got on with the boys really well. 2 of them I didn't really see much of. They were either just in their room or they just kind of hung around with different people, to our flatmates sort of thing. But yeah, that was where I met one of my best friends, Eve. She was a few doors down from me, and yeah, we like all the same music and stuff. So yeah, we just got on really well from day one. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the flat overall was a bit. It was definitely an older style of hall, so a lot of the time things didn't really work in the kitchen, but to be fair, the sort of maintenance people on campus were really good. They would always fix things quite quickly, so yeah, no issues there. Yeah, my room again was pretty big actually. You can go and watch a room tour video from that years ago. But my bed was really uncomfortable, but I think that's just quite normal for university halls, to be honest. So yeah, overall I really liked my house, my flatmates. We all got on really well. We used to go out all the time. And yeah, my actual flat, it was pretty basic, but I didn't really expect much for my first year halls, so yeah. So yeah, social life, as I said, we would probably go out maybe 2-3 times a week, and then maybe again on weekends. I think with university, you make the student nights are usually during the week, so Tuesdays and Thursdays were big student nights in Bath, so we usually go out on those days. We would go out on a Tuesday night, so it was either Toast Tuesdays or Cheesy Tuesdays, so pop songs, that kind of thing. So yeah, pretty much every Tuesday night we would go out, and I had a 10 AM lecture the next morning, and oh my god, I would just be sat there hanging. It was just not nice, but it's all part of the experience. And because I was on campus as well, I could literally wake up 10:15 and be there at 10, so it was great. And I'd usually come home and have a nap after that. So yeah, lots of fun times from there. I probably stank of alcohol, to be honest, but anyway, really good social life. And even at the weekends we would go out and go shopping in Bath, or just have a little walk around town. And yeah, I think you'll probably find when you go to uni, your weekends are a lot more quieter than your weeknights, because as I said, it's cheaper to go out during the week if you're a student than on weekends. And also Bath is very touristy at weekends. You get a lot of people coming for obviously couple breaks or friend breaks, hen parties. So town can be really busy and just not a nice place. Not nice, but just busy and congested and can't get around places very easily. So I never really went into town much on weekends, especially during the day. And when it was Christmas market time, oh my gridlock, basically you couldn't walk around anywhere, because obviously all the stores are in the middle of the streets, and then people would be walking around. So yeah, as I said, I think December time, especially in Bath, is always really busy, but after that it's a bit calmer. And mental health, I don't really have any sort of memories of my mental health being particularly bad. I think the first couple of months are always hard at uni, just because it's your first time away from home. For me, it was my first time living away from home, and Bath is about 2.5 hours away from Surrey, where I live now. So yeah, I did feel it at times. I think especially after the first maybe month or so, when we started going out slightly less, or we were just getting skin or whatever, I would be sat in my room. There was one day I remember I was just sat in my room, I was like, oh my god, it just hit me all at once because we weren't going out, and I was like, I feel really, really homesick, I just want to be at home sort of thing. And I just remember crying on the phone to my mum. I was like, Mum, I really miss you. And yeah, I just didn't really leave my room all day apart from to get food. Yeah, I think it happened, but as I said, if you're just going out all the time, you burn yourself out and then you start missing home. And yeah, so I think you all definitely feel times like that. And that wasn't the first time it happened in my second year and third year. So yeah, I think it's very normal to cry at uni, it's very normal to feel lonely and sad. And yeah, it's just about how you get through it really. So yeah, on that day I rang my mum, I was like, this is how I'm feeling, and she was like, okay, right, I'll come and visit you at the weekend. So during my uni years, basically either my mum or my dad would come and visit me every like 3 to 4 weeks. So I was always seeing them at least once a month, which really helped. And also meant I didn't have to travel all the way home either. And then I would usually go home on reading weeks, and then obviously for the holidays. There were some weekends I did go home during the semester, but most of the time I'd wait until I had like at least 4 days I could be at home, because I said it's quite far, like on the train it's about 3 hours to travel home. So if I went home on like a Friday, by the time I travelled home I'd only really have 1 full day at home. So yeah, that's why usually my parents would like drive up to me, just because it was a bit easier, and I think it helped me settle in a lot more as well, that my parents were there in Bath for me rather than me just going home and wasn't really settling in Bath. I'd really recommend for like travel sickness, homesickness, times like that where I just feel a bit homesick and a bit sad. But I think because I was just going out all the time and just making the most of my new surroundings, like I never really felt anxious, and my course was alright at the time. So yeah, all good there. And that was my first year. There's lots of nice memories, like just going out and meeting new people. Like honestly, that people I haven't Snapchat and I don't even talk to anymore, that I just met on nights out. So funny. But yeah, as I said, first year there's a lot of good memories, and I'd love to go back to that time because it just felt so carefree. Okay, so second year is when things went a little bit downhill. So first of all, housing. So as I mentioned before, I met my best friend Eve in halls in first year, and we did try to get a student house for like 5 of us, but it just didn't really happen. So we had to apply for a 2-bedroom studio flat, which was like university owned, in Green Park, which is like a place where there's halls as well. So yeah, we got that at the end of first year, then we moved in like September time, and yeah, I did not like that flat at all. Like it was very, very small. We only had windows like in our bedroom, we didn't have any like windows or seating areas in our kitchen, so it just didn't feel very sociable. There was only like 2 other flats like next to us as well who didn't really speak to us. So yeah, it was definitely a big like adjustment to go from like living in a hall for people all socialise with each other, like from different flats and stuff, to like just being me and Eve. So I think I really struggled with that, and all my flatmates from like obviously the previous flat moved into different places, so I didn't see much of them either. And like with second year the work is a lot more. So yeah, my mental health just went whoosh. So yeah, so going on to social life, I didn't really have much of a social life, to be honest. I said my friends were a lot more split up. I don't know why, we didn't make much effort to see them. And yeah, I just remember being sat in that flat a lot of the time on my own, just like feeling so sad and low. And my course content was getting really hard as well, I just didn't understand it. And yeah, I just felt very, very trapped at that time. And then in like my second week of second year, I had a really big panic attack during a like psychology lesson. So I managed to get out of the classroom, but then I just literally ran to student wellbeing service. I was like, cause I've had 2 panic attacks before this, so I was like, right, I know what's happening now. And yeah, I just sat in like one of the rooms of student wellbeing, just like literally having this huge panic attack. I think it lasted about half an hour, which is very long for a panic attack. And yeah, it just wasn't nice. And yeah, I think once that happened, it completely knocked my confidence. Like if you've ever had a panic attack, you'll know it's just not a nice experience. And yeah, I just felt like so inadequate, and I felt like I just couldn't do uni anymore, which is just so different to how I felt in first year. So yeah, so that happened at student wellbeing, and they were like, we do offer counselling services. So I was like, okay, so I referred myself, but the waiting list for counselling at uni was 8 weeks, which is a very, very long time. But they were like, in the meantime, you can come into student wellbeing and just talk to someone. So I would go about every week, but then the thing is, with going into student wellbeing, if you went on different days, it would be a different person there, sort of thing. So I had to re-explain everything that was stressing me out, and it was exhausting. And then obviously I went to the doctors in the meantime, just to like report my health, because when I get really anxious as well, I do actually throw up. So I was being sick most days if I had university. So yeah, I was losing a lot of weight and stuff. So obviously I went to the doctor, and obviously he was like, what's worked for you in the past? And I was like, therapy has really worked for me personally. So he was like, right, I can refer you back to the Bath services as well, but again, there's about 6 weeks waiting list. So I've just like put on waiting list. I think I went to 1 group therapy session, but it didn't really do much for me. And he like, well, to help with the physical symptoms, like, we can put you on antidepressants sort of thing. I was like, okay. I didn't really want to because it didn't really make me feel comfortable, but I was just like, you know what, I just want to get through uni. I think it was just a really unhealthy mindset, me just prioritising uni over myself. So yeah, I went on one lot of antidepressants. I think it was sertraline. Did not agree with me at all. I couldn't sleep on it. I felt even more sick because one of the side effects is nausea. So I don't know why he put me on that. Again, really struggled to eat. So I think by Christmas time I'd lost about a stone in weight, just through lack of eating and being very anxious. And yeah, I would just literally, I remember I walked down to the lake at campus and just cry all the time. Yeah, because I just generally couldn't see a way out. I thought I'm just going to have to be like this for 2 years whilst I finish this degree, like, because I was like, I needed to really get a job. That was just my mindset. It was just so unhealthy. After Christmas, as I said, I started seeing the university counsellor just before Christmas. I think I had like 3 or 4 sessions, and then there was one session she was like, Kiri, obviously you're not improving whilst being at uni. She's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I just need to go home and figure out what I'm doing because I'm not happy here. And she was like, okay, you do that and tell me what you want to do after. So I went home for a weekend, and I remember I was just so, like, my head was just all over the place because she obviously told me I could drop out of uni and change courses if I want to. I could change uni. There's just so much like decisions to make. So I got on the train home, cried all the way home, and then mum got in from work and I literally just like collapsed in her arms. I was just so baffled on what to do with my life. And yeah, then I saw my grandparents that weekend. We spoke to like friends and family and things like that, and I was just like, right, you know what, I just need a break from uni. Like, this is not healthy the way I am. So I went back to uni, and even my counsellor at the time, she was like, I can just see there's such a relief in your face. She's like, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to intercalate, which is what I did. So that basically means taking time off either for mental, physical, or like personal reasons. It just means you can stop your funding, take time away from uni, like however long it can be, like it can be a year, 6 months, 2 months, whatever. And yeah, just figure out whether you want to actually go back or not. So that's what I did. It took a while to like sort out. Obviously, you have to run up student finance and tell them I wasn't at uni and like give them proof from the doctor and all that. But it didn't take that. I think it took about a month to sort all that out. So yeah, I moved out of that little flat back home, and then I was like, right, what do I do now? So I was just applying for jobs. I didn't really care what it was. I was like, I just need to be out of the house and not thinking about things. So yeah, I worked in a nursery for 6 months. I was kind of like the cover practitioner, I guess. Like, I would cover when people went on holidays. I would cover like lunch times, because obviously when you're working with kids, you've got to like cover the amount of kids that are in the room. So if people went on lunch breaks, I would just be there helping with the children whilst other staff were on lunch breaks. So yeah, it wasn't like my dream job, but I was like, it got me out of the house, it kept me really active, so I'd have to walk like a mile to the nursery and back from the train station. So yeah, I was like super fit, and then went back to the doctors, went back on antidepressants, went on fluoxetine. Again, it just didn't agree with me. I hated all the side effects. So he was like, right, you've tried 2 now. He was like, I don't really think medication is for you. I was like, do you know what, I don't think so either. And then I got put on beta blockers, which helped with the sort of tight chest, nausea, sensations of anxiety. So that really, really helped. So I was on them for like maybe 4 or 5 months. And then in that time I went to the gym. So I started doing like weight training and stuff like that. And again, it just made me feel a lot more healthier, and it really got my appetite back as well. So I started sort of gaining weight again, which was what I needed. Like honestly, I'd remember I'd eat about 4 meals a day, because I'd obviously have my breakfast in the morning, go to work, I'd bring a packed lunch with me, and then when the kids are eating, it's usually like leftover like hot food, so I'd have the kids' lunch, and then I'd have my packed lunch on the way home from work, and then I'd eat dinner as well. So honestly, I just never stopped eating. So yeah, and then in that time I was looking at other jobs. I was looking at apprenticeships and things like that, but I kind of realised at that time I didn't really want to work with kids. It was exhausting. The environment just wasn't for me, and yeah, as I said, the job was okay, but it just wasn't for me. But I was like, I still enjoy education and stuff, so I then decided to go from, I didn't even say before, but my first course was psychology and education, but I then dropped the psychology element and just did education studies on its own. So yeah, so I retook second year just doing education studies, because I'd done the core module in my first year. Like I could do that again, sort of thing. Uni in September 2019, and that's when second year started. So I went back into halls because all my friends had sorted out their accommodation, and because I had like existing health conditions, I could move back into university halls, which was great. So yeah, so I moved back into halls. This time I lived in like a flat of 7 people, so there was less than my first year halls, but still like quite a nice big group. Yeah, got on with them all really well, and we also became quite friendly with the flat next door to us. So yeah, so in my flat there was it 3 boys, 4 girls? Yeah, so there was 3 boys, 4 girls. I was the second oldest. There was one girl who was also in her first year, but she was like 23 at the time, I think. Again, she went to uni, dropped out a couple of years before, and then came back into it. So, as I said, if you drop out of uni, you're not the only one. Honestly, people go to uni at all ages. So please, if you're at that point where you're dropping out of uni, like, try not to panic too much. You'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, obviously when I was back in halls, I was 19, turning 20. So no, I was 20, turning 21. So yeah, I was a couple of years older than the rest of my flatmates, but honestly I didn't really notice it. Like, they went out a bit more than me, but I'm quite quiet anyway. So, and I think as well, where I'd done all the sort of clubs and that in my first year, I wasn't too bothered about going out all the time in my second hall experience. So yeah, that's halls. And then social life, as I said, because I was in like a group of people again, I was going out a lot more, and it was nice. Like, my third year friends got on well with my second year house flatmates as well, so that worked most of the time. And yeah, as I said, we were going out clubbing because we were in Green Park, which is in the centre of Bath, so we could just literally walk into pubs, clubs, whatever. So yeah, lots of good memories of like pub golf and yeah, just nights out in general. So yeah, honestly, I really, like, the second time around, I really enjoyed my time there, and like I would go back to that as well. Then strikes happened, so like early March 2020, there was a lot of lecturers going on strikes because of pension pay or something like that. So there was one module I remember where I think I only ever had 2 face-to-face seminars with her because she was striking and then she was off sick, and then the pandemic hit. So yeah, I literally vlogged all this like whole process, so if you want to go back and watch those, you can. So yeah, we got an email like in mid-March. Yeah, because I remember I went to see Halsey on the 8th of March 2020 when like things were just kind of spiralling. Like, I think Italy had gone into lockdown, like Germany had gone into lockdown at that point, and like I remember like running around Bath trying to find hand sanitizer. It was just sold out everywhere. But yeah, me and my friend Kirsty went to Halsey, and then like about a week later we got an email saying that the uni recommended us we all like move back home because there would be a lockdown coming. And yeah, so within a week I had to pack up my whole room again and move back home, and I was like, this is just typical, maybe just Green Park isn't for me. Like, it was just the second time I had to move all my stuff home early. And yeah, then all our lessons went online, which was definitely hard to adjust to. I literally moved this whole bedroom around. I'll link that video up here. So yeah, I had to move all my room around, and yeah, it was very odd studying from my bedroom and just going from being out clubbing all the time to just living at home, not doing anything in lockdown. Yeah, it was really weird at first. You know what, I just got on with it. I still FaceTimed my uni friends and my home friends and things like that, so I think I definitely kept quite social even in a virtual way. And then summer came around and I could obviously go and see my friends again, which was really nice. And then I moved into my third year house in September 2020. There was a little bit of like, it was a bit complicated because we had a couple of people drop out before we moved in, so I had to find someone else. I have spoken about this in another video, like my student house story. So yeah, I mean, I can't really say much because I only lived there for like 2 months. So yeah, I moved in there in September. Our lectures don't really start until like the first week of October, so I had like a nice month where we would like go to the beach. We went to Bristol, like, 'cause it was nice because people had their cars, so we could kind of go more places. And yeah, like I said, there was a lot of nice moments because September's always quite hot as well, so we would go down to the weir and go swimming and things like that. So September was like a nice month, and then October rolled around, and yeah, obviously the restrictions started getting stricter. Like, you could only go out to have a meal and a drink, whatever it was, and yeah, it was all social distanced, and it just wasn't the same university experience in my opinion. Like, and you also had to start booking places, and yeah, it just was not the same. And yeah, I think things started to get on top of me as well because my housemates weren't getting on great at the time when I was living there, like November time. So I came in for reading week, like, yeah, I think it was the first week of November, and then the second lockdown got announced, and I was just like, oh my god, and I just cried to my mum. I was like, Mum, I don't want to be stuck in my student house during lockdown, like, it just stressed me. I was like, it's fine, just stay here, sort of thing. So yeah, I moved back here in November 2020 and haven't been back to Bath since. I still talk to my housemates, probably not as much as I did last year, but we've all been busy with uni, so I do plan to go back to my house at some point, obviously, to see them, and I need to pack up everything. But yeah, mental health wise in third year, I think again the workload, I don't think it was as like, it wasn't such a big jump from like the first year to second year workload wise, but I think the second and third year are kind of the same workload wise. But I think for me personally, I was just bored of it. I was like, you know, I'm so bored of writing essays and just doing the same thing all the time and Harvard referencing. I'm just so ready to move on. And again, I think since living at home as well, my social life has kind of not been as much because obviously with the pandemic you can't go out much anyway. I mean, it's better now, obviously we're out of lockdown, I can see my friends at the weekends and stuff. Yeah, obviously you do kind of miss those student nights during the week and things. And I live in a very quiet town in Surrey compared to Bath, so yeah, things have definitely changed. But I think one positive of this year is that I've found an internship, like it's all virtual, which I did for a month through uni, and then the company have taken on part-time since, so hopefully one day I can go full-time with them. So yeah, and I've met some really nice people through my job as well, which is good. But again, I do miss the aspect of actually like going out to work, so I do just feel like I spend 24/7 in this bedroom. So, but maybe one day when I've got like a full-time job, I can like move out with friends again. Yeah, that is basically my university experience in 20 minutes. So yes, I hope you like this video. I think overall, oh, I've got some questions as well, sorry. So the first question was, do I regret going to university? And, oh my god, can you hear the rain? Do I regret going? No, I don't regret going to university. I think there's definitely parts that I didn't enjoy, which I think is normal. Like, I think even if I had a job in that time, there would probably be parts of the job I didn't enjoy. As I said, when I was doing psychology in second year, I absolutely hated my life at that point. But you know what? I made the decision to leave, and it was the best decision I ever made. And I think as well with uni, it's not about your course, it is about like living independently and making friends. I think that was definitely one of the highlights of uni for me. And yeah, it was just nice to live in a city for like 3 and a bit years. It was probably more like 2 years with the amount of times I came back home. But yeah, it was nice just to live in a city where there's things going on and meeting new people. So I definitely like glad I went to uni for that aspect of things. But I think course wise, I probably won't use my knowledge that much from my course because I don't see myself being a teacher. Yeah, and I think studying education, you realise how flawed the education system is, and I don't really want to be working as part of that. So yeah, so yeah, my actual course is probably a bit pointless, but yeah, so I still learn things along the way, and yeah, I'm glad I lived away from home for a bit. Second question was, what course would I pick now if I went back to uni? So what course would I pick? I think I did really like English back in school, but then I just always thought it was a bit of a pointless subject. But do you know what? I think it's really rare nowadays do the like course they picked at uni as a job. Like most of my brother's friends don't do anything related to their course in their full-time jobs, and like even my friends now who graduated in 2020, a lot of them are still in jobs that they started when they were like 16, or they're doing something completely different, and that's all okay. I think you just need to realise that not everyone knows what they're doing straight out of uni, and it is normal to like try different things and move on for a job if you don't like it. And yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I would have probably picked English maybe, because I enjoyed that back in school, or maybe like media. As in the modules I enjoyed most in my course were the ones which had like media in them, or like where you would study sort of politics and things like that. So yeah, maybe like media and communication or something like that. Not like creative media where you're like making stuff, but more like looking at films and like TV. I think I would have found that really interesting. Everything happens for a reason. But yes, this video is very long already. I hope you found this video helpful. If you're going off to Bath Spa this year, good luck. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did for the most part anyway. I think overall the uni is really nice because it's quite small, so you get to know your lecturers really well and your fellow course mates. And Bath is just such a pretty city, and it's a very safe city. Like honestly, there was times where I walked home on my own at night and I didn't feel in danger. And yeah, it's just such a cute place to like live as a student. I don't think I could live there for like long term because it's just a bit too far away from my family if I was to start my own family sort of thing. And yeah, I like being closer to London when I'm at home. So yeah, but as I said, as like a first place to live in a city, I think Bath is such a good place because there's a lot going on, and also you're not far from Bristol and Cardiff either. So yeah, I think I would recommend Bath Spa. Or uni or Bath as a city is really nice. So yeah, I'm going to stop filming now because it is really loud outside. I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. As if you're off to Bath Spa or uni or Bath, good luck. And yeah, if you've got any questions, let me know down below. So the next video will be like my experience on my course. So yeah, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.